So, y'all, we got to talk about Tami Roman. We got to talk about Tami Roman because we finally know exactly why she did not make the cast for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, you guys know she was on Carlos King's show. She talked about this. And she was on The Breakfast Club and she talked about this. And I happened to catch this on the Instagram page for Mr. Housewives today. So listen, let's get into it. Links will be placed down below so that you guys can go check out the sources for yourself and listen to it for yourself. But Tami Roman was on The Breakfast Club today and she talked about what happened and what led her to not being cast for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, she doesn't really go into which season, but she does tell us why the producers ended up declining to make her a housewife even after she had gone through this audition process, I believe at least twice. So get this. Apparently, they said that she was too big of a personality on an opposing network, i.e., she played too big of a role and was too well known for her time period on Basketball Wives to be a housewife of Atlanta. Now, in my opinion, personally speaking, as Tami was looking to sort of evolve her brand, and honestly, I think, listen, I say this, God's rejection is usually God's protection. So let's say that. Let's start off with that. So we'll look at it from that perspective. And Tami has gone on to do some amazing work in some amazing shows. She's gotten umpteen amounts of projects on television. So she ain't hurting for nothing. She working. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is that just bothers me is that for me, if I am a producer and I'm looking at talent, especially with what we have seen coming out of Atlanta in the past couple of years, I would have been sold on Tami Roman from the jump because I know what she can give, right? And here's the thing. Housewives and Basketball Wives are two completely different beasts, right? I felt like as Tami was looking to continue to elevate, maybe she wanted to get out of the reality TV space altogether, but I felt like if she was going to continue in the reality TV space, Housewives would have been another level above Basketball Wives in terms of notoriety and whatnot and how she wanted to continue to brand herself. So I just felt like that was probably one of the worst casting decisions to pass on Tami Roman that I could have ever heard of. Listen, when you get Tami Roman in the chair to audition for Housewives, if you're gonna keep going with these names, I feel like this is a name that you don't want to pass up, especially if she is beyond the point of her contract with VH1, where she's a free agent. I would have totally snatched her all the way up, okay? Because Tami is hilarious. She is funny. And if you are living in a space without a Nene Leakes, you want a Tami Roman, okay? You're living in a space without a Portia Williams. And that's not to take away from everything that the current cast brings. But I just think it would have taken things up another level to have a Tami Roman on your show. And if I was the producers, I would be running back to Tami right now to book her for the new season. Period. Okay? Now that I've gotten that out of the way, because honestly, that makes absolutely no sense to me why you would pass up on Tami Roman. That screams to me ratings. But I digress. Let's take things over to Potomac, okay? Because Entertainment Tonight has released an exclusive first look at Sunday night's season 7 premiere, okay? Which finds Gizelle Bryant on the receiving end of Mia Thornton's FU, okay? Why does this happen? Because Gizelle Bryant confronts Mia about her post about her diagnosis or almost diagnosis with lymphoma. So we'll get into that in just 1 second. So here's the thing. On Instagram, Mia suggested that she might have cancer. So she posted a couple of cryptic messages, and I'm reading to you verbatim from the Entertainment Tonight site, okay, just in case you guys are wondering. And it kind of hinted at a diagnosis of cancer, but she never outright said that she was sick. And then she edited the caption to be even more vague than when she first shared her health scare. So again, like I said, this is coming from the article. So Gizelle states, well, you changed your caption. Like your first post, you edited it. It seemed very, look at me, I need attention. When it's just like, Mia, girl, I didn't think that you were that girl that needed attention. And so Mia is like, I don't. So in this conversation, it's Karen, Robin ends up ambling over, and then so does Ashley. So then Gizelle states, as your friend, I want to let you know that it seems extremely, look at me, I need attention. And you agreed, as she points to Karen. She says, you agreed. Karen says, no, I did not. She said, I would not choose social media, but I certainly didn't agree that. Okay. So then Gizelle says, you said it was weird. So then, of course, the editors pulled together the flashback of Ashley, I think it was Ashley, Karen, Gizelle, and Robin at the park. And I guess they were sitting down talking about this. We had actually seen the picture of them floating around on Instagram earlier in the year. And the editors do show that Karen agreed that it was different in that conversation. She didn't use the word weird. It was Gizelle that used the word weird. Karen also said in that statement that they should hear Mia out and hear the story from her and not on her social media. So at that point in time, Mia says, so yes, to answer your question, I don't need attention, quite frankly. She says, what I was using my platform for was for a purpose. The purpose was I was hurting, right? I got a phone call that I had cancer and I was broken. And Gizelle says that you have cancer. And Mia says, they said your test results came back and it looks like you have lymphoma, okay? And after crying with my husband, crying with my kids, going to the doctor, I was in the hospital. I was going through everything. It's been hell, okay? So for you to sit there and say I was doing it for attention, F you, okay? Based on what Karen said in an interview with Entertainment Tonight earlier, she said that Mia was pulling out the theatrics in her sophomore season. And to be quite honest with you, I mean, we all know that's what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Now, Mia tells Essence that it was the hardest time of her life with regards to her cancer scare. Okay. Now, she goes into greater detail about that in the article. She says she's doing much better. She's doing good. She says she's out of it, and having to talk about it now, it sometimes makes her feel not okay, just because it was the hardest time of her life and I've been through a lot. So you can only imagine it was also a trying time for our marriage. She says, I do feel better. Thank you for asking. God is good. And that's all I've got to say. All right. So there you have it with that. I guess we'll have to look for more about this situation as we continue to watch The Real Housewives of Potomac. That starts this Sunday night at 8 p.m. on Bravo. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell button, and of course, let us know what you think about the tea in this video. All right, we'll catch you in the next video.